The Abbey of the Black Hag, Ireland's most terrifying forgotten curse, the haunting of St. Katherine's Abbey. For centuries, hidden among the ancient streets of Limerick, Ireland, the crumbling ruins of St. Katherine's Abbey, often whispered about as the Abbey of the Black Hag, have been surrounded by chilling legends. Time has erased much of its grandeur, yet the stories refuse to die. Locals still lower their voices when speaking about the abandoned abbey after sunset. They say that once darkness falls, the ruins no longer belong to the living. Strange whispers drift through broken stone corridors, icy winds move without reason, and a shadow dressed in black is said to wander the grounds searching for those foolish enough to disturb her eternal vigil. Whether these tales are folklore or something far more sinister remains a mystery, but generations have carried the warnings forward. Tonight, we explore one of Ireland's most unsettling haunted legends. The story begins in medieval Limerick, where St. Katherine's Abbey stood as a place of prayer and silence. Built centuries ago by devoted religious women, the abbey was intended to be a sanctuary of peace, charity, and faith. Pilgrims visited seeking comfort, while the sisters dedicated their lives to helping the poor and caring for the sick. Yet even in those early years, rumors spread that something dark lurked beneath the sacred foundations. Ancient burial grounds surrounded the abbey, and older pagan traditions had once flourished on nearby land. Some believed that not every spirit welcomed the arrival of the monastery, and that something ancient had been awakened beneath the stones. Among the earliest legends is the mysterious figure known only as the Black Hag. No surviving historical document confirms who she truly was, but folklore paints many different portraits. Some describe her as a woman accused of witchcraft during an age of fear and superstition. Others claim she was an old healer whose knowledge frightened powerful men. A darker version says she was never human at all but an ancient spirit tied to the land long before Christianity reached Ireland. Whatever her origin, every version agrees on one terrifying detail: she wore long black robes, possessed eyes that reflected no light, and appeared only where death soon followed. According to local tradition, the woman sought shelter within the abbey during a violent winter storm. Exhausted and starving, she knocked upon the heavy wooden gates asking only for warmth. What happened next differs depending on who tells the tale. Some insist she was refused entry by frightened sisters. Others claim she was welcomed inside but secretly betrayed by those who believed she practiced forbidden magic. Before disappearing into the darkness, she allegedly pronounced a dreadful curse upon the abbey, declaring that no soul who betrayed compassion would ever find peace within those walls again. Soon afterward, strange events reportedly began disturbing the peaceful monastery. Nuns spoke of hearing footsteps echoing through empty hallways long after everyone had retired for the night. Candles mysteriously extinguished themselves moments after being lit. Locked chapel doors were discovered standing wide open before dawn. Some sisters claimed they awakened to find an elderly woman dressed entirely in black standing silently beside their beds. She never spoke. She simply stared until the witness gathered enough courage to look away. When they looked back, she had vanished completely. As years passed, the unsettling stories multiplied. Workers repairing damaged walls reportedly heard faint chanting coming from sealed underground chambers where no one was present. Livestock grazing near the abbey refused to approach certain sections of the ruins, often stopping abruptly as if confronted by an invisible barrier. Travelers passing the site at night described hearing a woman's slow laughter carried by the wind, despite seeing no living person nearby. The laughter was never loud, yet everyone who heard it remembered the sound for the rest of their lives. One of the most enduring local accounts tells of a caretaker who remained inside the abbey after sunset to finish repairs before an approaching storm. He reportedly dismissed the ghost stories as superstition and continued working alone. As darkness settled over the ruins, he heard soft footsteps crossing the stone floor behind him. Assuming another worker had returned, he turned around only to find the corridor completely empty. Minutes later, he noticed an elderly woman dressed in flowing black robes standing near the old altar. She appeared motionless, her face hidden beneath a hood. When he called out, the figure slowly lifted her head. Witnesses later claimed the terrified caretaker fled the abbey without collecting his tools and refused ever to return. Whether this account reflects a real experience or later folklore cannot be confirmed, but versions of the story continue to circulate in local tradition. Visitors over the centuries have described an unsettling sensation of being watched while exploring the ruined foundations. Even during bright afternoons, some report sudden drops in temperature within particular archways. Others mention hearing what sounds like distant prayers despite being completely alone. Photography enthusiasts occasionally claim to capture unexplained dark silhouettes standing between broken windows, though such images have never provided conclusive evidence of paranormal activity. These experiences remain anecdotal, yet they continue to reinforce the Abbey's haunted reputation. Some paranormal investigators who have visited the location have reported unusual audio recordings containing faint whispers that were not heard at the time of recording. Others describe electronic equipment behaving unpredictably in certain areas of the ruins. While there is no scientific evidence proving these events are supernatural, the consistency of similar stories from unrelated visitors has fueled the Abbey's enduring legend. Skeptics attribute these experiences to expectation, environmental conditions, or the atmosphere of an ancient ruin, while believers see them as signs that the Black Hag's presence has never truly faded. Local folklore also speaks of an old stone arch where the Black Hag is said to appear shortly before midnight. Those who allegedly encounter her describe feeling an overwhelming sense of dread unlike ordinary fear. Some stories claim she silently points toward the earth beneath the abbey before disappearing into darkness. Others say anyone who follows her shadow becomes hopelessly lost within streets they have known their entire lives until sunrise breaks the curse. These tales have never been verified, yet parents in Limerick have long warned children to avoid wandering near the ruins after dark.
In the heart of medieval Ireland,
modern historians
these ancient
emphasize that much of the
stones
Black
hold a
Hag
dark
legend
secret.
belongs to folklore rather than
Whispers of a
documented
forgotten
history.
horror still
St.
echo in the
Catherine's
rain.
Abbey itself is a genuine medieval religious site with a long and significant past, but many of the ghostly stories surrounding it evolved through oral tradition over hundreds of years. As with
In
many
the heart of
historic
medieval
locations
Ireland,
across Ireland,
these ancient
fact and
stones
legend
hold
have
a
become
dark
intertwined,
secret.
making it
Whispers
difficult
of
to
a
separate
forgotten
historical
horror
events from
still echo
supernatural
in the rain.
storytelling. That uncertainty is precisely what keeps the mystery alive. Imagine standing alone among weathered stone walls as midnight approaches. The city grows quiet, the wind slips through broken arches, and centuries of history surround you. Every shadow seems deeper than it should be. Every distant sound feels strangely close. You remember the old warnings about the woman in black who appears only when the abbey falls silent. Then, from somewhere beyond the darkness, slow footsteps begin echoing across the ancient stones. They stop just behind you. The air turns icy. You gather the courage to look over your shoulder, and there is no one there. Or perhaps there never was. Some believe the Black Hag is only a legend created to explain unexplained tragedies. Others are convinced that certain places remember the pain of their past and refuse to let it disappear. Whether ghost, curse,
In
or
the heart of
centuries
medieval
imagination
Ireland,
woven together
these
through
ancient
Irish
stones
folklore,
hold a
the
dark
haunting of
secret.
St. Catherine's Abbey
Whispers of a
continues to
forgotten
fascinate
horror
those who seek the
still
unknown.
echo in the rain.
The ruins still
In the heart
stand
of
in
medieval
Limerick,
Ireland,
weathered by time
these
but
ancient
untouched by
stones
certainty.
hold a dark secret.
Until someone can
Whispers
finally
of a
explain
forgotten
every
horror
whisper, every
still
shadow,
echo in the rain.
and every chilling encounter, the Abbey of the Black Hag will remain one of Ireland's most enduring supernatural mysteries. So, if you ever find yourself wandering the ancient streets of Limerick after sunset and you notice an old woman dressed in black watching silently from the ruins of St. Catherine's Abbey, remember the oldest warning passed down through generations: do not follow her, because some paths are said to lead somewhere the living were never meant to go.